So let me get some of the self-promotion out of the way. Please consider channel memberships if you can. They start off fairly low. I will start to put new material for the lower tiers as well as the higher tiers. So please consider donating to the higher tier if you can. And please consider my other channels, which I've put below as well as in the description, especially examining Kubrick. I will be putting some things on Lynch and other works of cinematic workmanship, or what are we going to call it? Okay, let us jump into the main thing. I did a previous video, so I will be very quick with introductions. Barb was a moderator for Aaron Smith-Levin, one of the biggest YouTubers. And again, I'm not going to say anti-Scientology, but I guess just doing stuff with some anti-Scientology people, which occasionally Aaron does. I do think Barb was being a little bit too positive, and that's what we're going to get into. So previously, Aaron had Goldie as a mod. We covered the Goldie era, so if you want more on that, look at the last video. So what does Barb have to say? Well, Barb is pretty blunt that she does think that there's been a lot of grifting in SPTV, but not exactly who you think it is and over what, but it is very disturbing, and she would know. She's literally a witness to what happened and saw this with her own two eyes and her ears and can confirm many things we were speculating about, but now is pretty clearly a fact. So apparently some people in SPTV land are using the fans for loans. Okay, that's interesting. And not going to pay back the loans. All right, that's pretty alarming. They're even having sex with certain members in SPTV. And I'm like, okay, all right, there you go. Uh-huh. By the way, the person doing this might be a potential predator. I'm being nice. Alleged predator. I think it's confirmed, but we're going to be nice. Alleged predator. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. And also, Barb herself has seen various threats, physical threats, being lobbied at people, asking questions, reasonable questions about the money, as well as a lot of insults about the quote fandom. So, interesting. Now, I know people usually tune in for me to dislike Aaron, and I do dislike Aaron. So Barb's opinion there is a little bit more mixed. She does call him out for various bad behavior, and she notes very firmly when she saw Jenna Miscavige's first video. Jenna used to be Aaron's girlfriend, and you might be a little confused because you might think, wait, I thought Aaron was married. Yes, he is married. Yes, he is, or seemingly is married. So anyway, Jenna put out a video. I don't want to call it an allegation. She was stating that Aaron was being extremely abusive, and that was it for Barb. Barb told Aaron directly, I can't be your moderator anymore, and Aaron was like, okay, fine. She also caught Aaron being explicitly homophobic, which really offended Barb, because Barb is, I guess, presumably a liberal Democrat. She does identify as a Democrat, and she has gay daughters, so she found that really offensive and pushed back on him. And apparently, you got to give Aaron this, even though Barb is very self-assertive and stood up for herself. She continued as a moderator. She's also denying that Aaron explicitly blocks people or even has a block list, even though Aaron did say he blocks a lot of channels. So I don't know. But her own instructions as a moderator was, no, just keep the chat in order. How you do it, don't really care. He doesn't really look at the chat too much. I would have to push back on Barb. I have not been in the chat for a long time, but I remember when I was in the chat and I was getting, to put it mildly, pushed around. I don't know for sure if Barb was moderating that day, but I do think Aaron noticed me and he did not like what I was saying in the comment section. So there you go. So I do think he pays attention to the comments when they're going against his narrative, just from my own experience. So I have to push back a little bit on that. And overall, does Barb think that Aaron is totally fake? She says no, and in fact, you can only call it these weird crying fits, and my own blunt opinion is they're way too manufactured. But Barbara's like saying, no, it's not planned out. From her own perspective, it is impromptu. Aaron really is just, for her, bluntly honest. I mean, he definitely lies about a lot of things, so I'm a little puzzled by what she means. I guess he's raw, but again, I don't want to misinterpret her. Her opinion of Aaron is much higher, and yet she's noting, yeah, he does do a lot of suspicious things. He is very toxic, and he has done a lot of wrong things. But she does think at the end of the day, there is, quote, a good, honest person underneath all this baggage. It's an interesting opinion. And she covered a lot. I'm not going to be able to summarize everything in one video, but it's a lot of secrets. And she did provide a few receipts. For instance, she mentioned she was pushed off one channel because she made a joke about Trump. Now, I know a lot of people are very touchy about Trump. I'm pretty suspicious of all politicians, but I see the good and bad, even in really bad politicians. I don't like Trump. I don't like most of what Trump stands for, but he does have a few good stances here and there. That's just my opinion. So anyway, she shared that she thinks that there's going to be a lot of chaos and melee after Trump gets power, which we're going to see really soon if that's true. And this guy got triggered. Now, what's really interesting is that channel, I know for a fact, states as one of its rules, no politics. That's right. The person literally states, to need to remind everyone there's no politics here. There will be no politics allowed. Although the person does discuss politics occasionally. So one, they have this hard rule, which they violate themselves. Secondly, apparently behind the scenes, they don't even believe it. And Barb was up front saying, this is who I am, right? Democrat, got gay daughters, you figure it out. And she had no problems previously, but apparently this one Facebook issue just really triggered this channel and said, you're out of here. You're out of here. I will not allow this. In this household, we love my Trump. That's what we do. I can't say it publicly, but I love my Trump. Right, I wonder why that person loves Trump so much, given their, again, allegations of predatory behavior. I wonder why. So now I will just finish with one big thing that in terms of, which is serious, of physical threats. Apparently this was verified by another channel, and I don't like that channel. The channel has lied about me and slandered me, but whatever. They've even spoken ill of my dead mother, which is like not a good thing. That puts you in the list of pretty horrible people for me. However, the person did confirm, yes, they, independent of Barb, did get a lot of these messages, saw a lot of these messages, and they're friends with the people who were threatened. Make of that what you will. And of course, these channels are already scurrying and saying, no, 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 don't believe Barb. Don't believe this other channel, right? This is the Marilyn Honig channel, which is not a very good channel. But apparently here, she did provide supporting evidence what Barb was saying. So a lot of these things are not speculation. They can be proven. And Barb is like, listen, I'm going to answer all the questions you put to me, and I will come back and answer more questions. So she's willing to answer questions. Now, you may not like the answers, but she's willing to answer a lot of questions. So at least part of what she's saying has been verified. How damaging is this? Well, definitely the image of SPTV. She agrees herself in this interview saying it's badly off. It clearly has lost a lot of focus. The focus is on shaking down a lot of money, scamming a lot of people, and getting off topic to pursue these partisan agendas. So it's a pretty dark picture, but she says she still believes in the cause. She's not letting go of her SPTV tattoos. She has a lot of tattoos on her body. She is letting go of one tattoo, of one channel. She says, that's out. I'm going to get that removed. So there we are. So she's a little disenchanted, but she still has faith in Aaron and his basic honesty, which I disagree with a lot, but that is what she said. However, she has called into question the honesty of quite a few other people, and we're going to be debating that for months and months. So a lot of people were defending that channel vehemently, despite massive amounts of evidence. And I want to give her one final congratulation. Barb did say, yeah, a lot of this stuff here I'm talking to you about is on Reddit and can be confirmed. And that has usually been a forbidden word. You can't say the word Reddit with SPTV. No, stay away from the Reddit. He's saying, no, some stuff on Reddit is true. It's been shown, it's been confirmed, and she is confirming it. So it's quite a lot of tea she spilled, and we're going to be dealing with the consequences for a long time. So good on her. I disagree with what she's saying here and there, but you can't fault her perspective, which is very intriguing.